What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Dice Legacy. This is kind of an interesting little, I don't even know if it's like a roguelite, in all honesty. You do unlock stuff on the in-between, but basically you're building a city inside of, this giant ring. And you use dice to do everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ugh, that sounds really random. Not so. This game has a lot in common, I guess, with a board game. That's kind of what it reminds me of, is sort of a single-player board game. There's definitely influences of Frostpunk in there. There's definitely influence of, Settlers in there. It's kind of an interesting little title, though. And you guys know me. I'm a big fan of novelty and games that kind of go their own way and try something very, very unique. So I've taken the time, I've learned the game a little bit, and I think we're going to play for about 25-30 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this video, you're like, hey, that's the game for me, good. I got a link for you down below. And if it's not, well, then there'll be another video tomorrow. Aside from that, down in the description, you'll also find a link to my Twitter, my Twitch stream, and also my Discord, which is the central hub for my entire community. But before I waste too much time jib-jabbing, let's go ahead and start a new game. As of right now, we just have the Stranded main scenario, but it looks like a bunch of other ones unlock, so that's good. We get to pick who we want to play as. Right now, we only have the Stranded King. These are the dice that we start out with, and I'll talk about how those work in just a minute. We will leave the tutorial on, I guess? I know what I'm doing, but maybe we'll get a little bit further on in and something interesting will happen. So here we are. This is actually the game. It takes place on this giant ring right here. This fence is our territory. And in fact, oh, that re-rolls my dice. Don't like that. Okay, so I was pressing spacebar to pause, but it re-rolls my dice. So we just wasted some durability right there, which is kind of a bummer. I would actually recommend that maybe they move the roll over to the R key, and then spacebar does the active pause. Ah, the hotkey is 1. Okay, well, most games use kind of spacebar push to pause, but basically the way the game works is this. Inside the UI, you'll have our king. This is what season it is right now, so it's currently summer. We've got a little bit of fall left in front of us before we can do, winter, which is kind of where the game gets nasty. We've got resources on the left, everything from food to wood to stone to gold to iron to wheat to beer, and then to herbs. We've got our time scale over here. Top of the screen, you can see the different classes. So every single one of these dice is a peasant. And the faces of the dice are the activities that class of person can undertake. So a hammer is building. This right here is a work. This right here is an explorer. This right here is I think a production. And so anyways, just things to think about as you're going on in. The game is very well kind of, I guess, symbolized. And so, it's pretty easy to figure out what you want to do. If you want to know what something is, just click on it. This is a wreckage. So if we put a production die on it, we will get some wood. This one right here, if we put a production die on it, we will get some food. And that big number 2 right there is how many times you can work that tile before it clears on out. For right now, it wants to show you how to lock a dice so that it doesn't roll. So we can do that by holding down Alt and left clicking. Although that doesn't appear to be working right now. But anyways, you can only lock dice while the game is not paused. So there's how you lock the dice right there so that they don't roll. Every single time you roll a dice, it loses durability. That sort of represents the aging process of each of the citizens. So when it reaches 0, the dice actually officially dies and it's gone. And then the class of that die, they get upset with you because there were things you could have done to prevent that, namely the cookhouse. And so if we build the cookhouse right here, it'll take about 25 seconds. And the cookhouse allows us to add durability to our dice in exchange for food. We have 2 production die right here, so I'm going to gather some food from right there. I'm going to gather some wood from right there. We have 1 work die, so I'm going to tell them to go gather some wood from inside that forest because we're going to need more wood in order to build buildings. This die is useless to me right now. It's not really that helpful. Our dice has come back. This one's exhausted. You can tell because it's not illuminated. If we re-roll it, it will re-illuminate. At the moment, there's not a whole lot we can build. They want us to do a district hall, but we also need to make a house so that we can produce more peasant dice, and I think that's actually a really good idea. So I'm going to we'll put in our peasantry over on the left-hand side of the map, I guess, just to keep things organized. It takes 2 hammers to get that done. I am going to lock you, and then we're going to roll these guys. And we didn't get any hammers. That's kind of a bummer, but I can live with it. Keep gathering those 2 spots so that we get the space back. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to re-roll both of these. We got the 2 hammers we needed right there, and bam! Now we're building a house. What's the square footage? What's it worth? I don't know. Kind of depends on the geography, but for right now, it's going to allow us to produce more peasants. and we definitely need some more dice. Part of the balance of the game is figuring out how many of each dice type you need, whether it be peasant dice, citizen dice, nobility dice, so on and so forth. We've officially gathered all that up right there, so we can re-roll these two guys. You go gather some food right there, and then you go work the forest, please. I need more wood. We need, you know, Pink Splatty needs wood badly. That's, I think, the operant phrase that we're going to be operating underneath for right now. So that's going to come back over to here. All right, the hammers are done. We can re-roll that stack, and it looks like we've got a work dice, so keep chopping trees. We've got a processing dice, so when that one comes out, I'll probably put that back in. Right here, we can trade some food. This is a little persnickety. You can click on this right here and put the food on there. I would very much prefer it. I don't know if there's an option for it, and we can take a look, but basically what I would like to see is I would like that when you drag a dice on there, like dragging a dice is such a deliberate thing that it should just auto-add the food when you put it right there. It would save you, like, 2 extra clicks, and basically it would just go zoop and suck the food out of there. Like, I don't know. I think if the UI was a little bit more fiddly or a little bit less clear, then maybe clicking and dragging the food over there would be necessary. But honestly, I think there's, like, an ancillary extra step there that doesn't need to be there. And maybe just having a clickable option that enables and disables that would be good, because then that gives still the choice to the player whether or not they want to do it that way. While at the same time still offering that. Like, I don't know, I feel like dragging a dice to a location, like, you've got to, like, put effort into that, and you don't do it unnecessarily. And so, like, the food should just go zoop and suck into there automatically the second the dice hits the floor. Most of my dice are going to be exhausted here. It wants me to produce a peasant right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to lock that, and then what does it take me to produce a peasant? 2 of any dice? Well, I got 2 sword dice that are totally useless to me right now, so we'll put both the sword dice in there. Those are the fighty dice, and I don't really need the fighty dice. We've got 5 wood. That does mean that we can get some wheat farms down, and I think that's probably a good place to start. So I'll put a wheat farm in right there, and then I'll probably put in another wheat farm right there so that we can get some food moving. We've got 2 hammers. The hammers are not that helpful as of right now, so I think I'm going to have to re-roll them. I don't want to, but oh, we got 2 hammers again. Okay, so what I'll do then is I'll revitalize you, re-roll you. We've got 1 work die right there, so I'll throw that out to there. I think you've got to put 4 dice on these all together to get the food to actually produce. We'll speed up the game for just a second till our dice start popping out. I may actually produce another peasant after this one. I think I'll wait and see, though. So there's an extra peasant die right there. Unfortunately, it's already kind of been tapped out, but we'll get the wheat field growing. That guy comes out in 2 seconds so that we can get a good, efficient reroll right there with everything on board. We've got a bunch of hammers. I don't really need the hammers, so I'm going to produce another peasant on that side. We'll go ahead and get that moving right there. I don't need that at all, so I guess we'll just kind of reforge it real fast. Because, like, we're not doing anything else with it anyways, so we'll just add some durability to it while we wait for everything else to get done. There's going to be decisions along the way, like events are going to happen, and you're going to have to adapt to those events. If you don't adapt to those events, you're going to have a bad time, my little dudes. So I would highly recommend that, like, you pick and choose what you want to do. Don't kind of upgrade your characters too early. I upgraded mine too early last time, and it was kind of like, it sucked. I didn't really have any jobs for, like, the upgraded dice to do, and I still had lots of stuff for the peasants to do. And so I ended up, like, in this weird situation where I was trying to get things done, but I couldn't because I over-upgraded my dice too early. We'll fix that die right there. We don't have any work dice or anything right now. I suppose I can re-roll those right this second. We got another dice face that I don't really want. Once that wood comes out, I may be able to build something with it. We've got a production die right there. That's not too bad. I will probably just re-roll the whole stack, man. I'm trying to do something with something out here. So in 30 seconds, we'll have some food coming along. We've got wood coming in for building, and we actually got a bunch of the work dice right there. I'm going to put a couple inside the mines over here. These mines are going to allow us to get stone, and then on top of that, there's a chance every time you generate a stone that you're going to get a gold, and we need a gold for, like, later on upgrades, basically. The wheat farms are already done, and so I don't know if it's actually going to count that. Well, maybe later on I'll be able to build one. And we need some more work dice over here. Let's go ahead and revitalize you. Flip those around. We got 2 more work dice. I'll probably send them to go... Yeah, go to the hunting grounds and gather food. Go to the mines, gather stone. Reroll these guys right here. Probably use you 2 to get another peasant. And then we wait. This guy's about to get his durability back, so hopefully when he returns, he'll be something useful. He was not. He's a sword, and I don't really need a sword right now. There haven't really been any prevailing threats for me to sword at. Like, far be it from me. Like, I'm a big fan of espadanating, but as of right now, I don't have anything to espada towards. Let's go ahead and throw that right there. Work that field for a second. Don't need either of those dice. However, we do have enough wood to potentially build a district hall. So the district hall is going to expand our territory. So I'll put the district hall right there. It's going to take 2 hammers to get done. Don't need the explorer. Is the hunting ground done? Yeah, let me get some more food real fast. And then for you, you just kind of go in there and I'll add some more durability to you. This guy definitely needs more durability, so I'll try to keep that in mind as well as we go forward. In fact, I think it may not be the worst idea ever to possibly try to get ourselves another cookhouse so that we can revitalize multiple dice at once. That might be a really, really good idea. As soon as that one pops out, throw another foodle in there. The foodle has been chucked inside of that receptacle. If I can get another hammer. Hey, there's a hammer. Go ahead and get the class haul done. We're harvesting our wheat over on this side, which is great. There we go. So we got 4 grains. Nice. Well, I was hoping it would just be flat food, but I guess that's life. You go gather me up some more food because I am a little bit worried about my food supply. I've got to fix that dice right there. We'll re-roll these bad boys and go get me some woods. Perfect. I can think of nothing else that I'd rather be working on right now. It seems to be going pretty well. Oh, look, we got an iron out of one of the mines. Which one of these is an iron mine, or is it just random? Stone mine, stone mine, stone mine, iron mine. Okay, so the one on the left is the iron mine. I'm going to throw you into there. I don't think we needed the 2 wheat fields. That might have been a waste of our... That might have been a little bit of a waste of our dice. I don't know. Let's re-roll these guys. We do have some worky boy dice right there. So we can throw those in. Don't really have much to do with the sword. Oh, no, dude, I timed it wrong. That feels bad. All right, we'll put you in right there, and then we will restore you. And then to replace that food, we'll go to the hunting grounds. And then we already have... I want you to be locked because I'm going to need you in just a minute. All these dice are going to come back, and I virtually assure you one of these is going to come back a cog. There we go. Just keep getting more Wheaties. If we put an explorer type right there, we can expand our territory. I think that's an okay idea. I need more wood so that I can build more stuff, so we'll go ahead and keep doing a hard job on the trees. You need to be restored. Oh, no, dude, that happened. I tried to time it, and I timed it wrong. Okay, what I learned today is that just take it easy with trying to time the dice. That's what I have learned. Timing the dice can backfire on you. Go ahead and get me some iron right there. We got 2 hammers ready to rock. I need you to go in here and get fixed. Give me another food. So that's done. So we can upgrade the district hall into a class hall. Expands territory and increases efficiency nearby, can be upgraded into a class district hall. Okay, so I put any die in there, and with 2 gold, I can turn that into a thing. Gotcha. I'm going to wait for that die to come back, and then we'll worry about what we want to do here. All right, so those dice are all back. These all have great durability. Too many explorer dice, if I'm being realistic. I just don't need this many explorer dice. I suppose what I could do is I could convert them into a peasant so that they're just not sitting there wasting. Got 2 seconds till that comes back up. We'll re-roll them. 2 more explorer dice. The game sure do love to give me explorer dice. I need food. I may need iron. So I'm going to throw guy in the iron mine real fast, even though it's probably not the most pleasant of labor shifts. Like, if everybody's doling out jobs, like, I want to go work in the fields, I don't want to go work in the iron mine. Knowing what I know about medieval mining techniques, I promise you, you don't want to be the guy in the mine. That's going to suck for you. That's another hunting ground right there, too. So actually, we have 2 sources of food that are ready to rock. It's getting colder and winter is approaching. Soon our fields will be frozen and venturing into the wildlands will be dangerous. We need to make sure we have enough wood to burn in our steam generators, and we must survive. Okay, so it wants me to build a steam generator. How hard is it to build a steam generator? 5 iron? Okay. I will be in a frenzy to make that happen. I'm going to wait for this to go away. How often do I get to make a 5 iron frenzy reference, dude? That's like such a weird niche reference. Like, it's just kind of like one of those things. It's like, get everybody into the iron mines real fast. Apparently, they are happy with me for right now. That's good. So them being happy with me means that sometimes they pull out extra resources when they go out to do jobs, which is very important. We'll get our wheat back from over here, although I do not know how useful that's going to be. I could have used, man. All right, well, I could have used a work tile or something. Like, none of these dice are really crazy useful. Throw that in over there. I don't know if I can do anything with the grain. I think I need a mill to convert the grain into something better. How hard is it to make a mill? We can make the mill right now. It produces food from wheat. So, yeah, do that. We need hammers for that, so there's our first hammer. I am going to wait for all of these. Is that all of them? All right, that's all of them. I need another hammer right there for the mill. And then go and gather more wood. They specifically said we were going to need that for the wintertime. You are looking a little bit low on durability. Food is kind of trickling off, but I've got a feeling that once we got the mill up and running, we should be able to replace that deficit pretty quickly. That field's gone fallow right there. We can plow that field, but like, I'm kind of thinking that we need like an extra cookhouse. That's sort of what I'm looking for. Go gather some food. So 2 grain and a production. Gotcha. All right. I'm going to wait for these to come out. We've only got 5 seconds anyways, and it doesn't feel like we're on that tight of a timetable. Hey, they gave me double wood. I love my peasants. My peasants are super rad. All right, so we'll go over here. We'll gather all of these trees. We'll gather food from over there, and then we'll get another iron on that side. Way too many hammers and things rattling around for right now. There goes one of our last food. Oh, can I please have a cog? That's all that I need is a cog. I just need a cog. All right, we'll put you guys in there to make a new peasant, because why not? Extra dice are always nice. We've got 6 wood right there, but we should have like 12 once these all come together. Come together to give me wood over me. All right, all those dice came back. Those are all good and done. Extra bushel of food coming around. We'll see what we pull out after this iron mine's done. Yeah, we got our production right there, so that works for me. Throw the wheat in there. And then once that's all finished off, I think I'm going to go for food, stone. Oh, we have the gold to upgrade this right here. Okay, fair enough. I'll put that in there to be revitalized. The council is proposing a new law for your reign. Mandatory mining. At the start of every season, you will obtain 2 stone or 2 iron for every mine inside the peasant districts. I like the art style, too. It's got kind of like a vaguely blizzardy feel to it. It's very, very high quality. It's good-looking art. Sharing experience. All new dice have 1 extra power to working. Mandatory harvesting. At the start of every season, obtain 2 wheat for every wheat farm inside the peasant district. Okay, that's fine. The extra wheat will help us produce food, like, for free, basically. We've got a extra dice. Okay, that's good. I'm going to re-roll those bad boys real fast. Unfortunately, we missed out right there. Go ahead and give me iron, trees, And stone. You keep producing peasants. The more dice I have, the more I feel like I've got like a much better chance of getting things done that I want to get done. We got 6 seconds till that guy's done, so I'm going to wait for that before I rotate. We're not into winter yet. Oh, we're in the beginning of winter. Yes, we are. Okay, fair enough. Go gather me some more food. Go gather me some more food. None of those are useful as of right now. There is an herbalist hut. Might be kind of nice. Let me pause the game while we go through these. There's a tavern. Heals a frozen die using ale. The steam generator was something that it very specifically said that it wanted us to use. If I put it right there, we can still gather food. Let's put it right there. I need 2 hammers to get that done. All right, we'll throw a hammer in over there. Throw you in there for healing. Do I have any dice coming out soon? Doesn't look like it. All right, so we got 1 extra work dice right there. There's our hammer for the steam generator. That guy right there for the mill to make more food. Go and gather. I assume that a dice freezing just means that it gets stuck inside that node for like X amount of time, would be my guess. Oh, good. We got our new peasant. Very nice. The next thing I would do is let's re-roll that. We didn't get any hammers. I was kind of like planning on making another cookhouse so that I could fix multiple dice at a time. But, oh no, dude, my dice got frozy boyed. Frozen dice cannot be rolled or employed. It can be healed in a temple or a tavern, or it will unfreeze on its own at the beginning of the summer. Okay. For this guy right here, looks like I just need wood. How long does that last for? 2 minutes. So yeah, they weren't kidding. We're gonna have to. Oh no, I hit the wrong key, dude. I keep pressing spacebar in order to roll my to freeze the game, and I keep rolling my dice on accident. It's just muscle memory. Like you play thousands of hours of like RimWorld and other games that have space to pause, dude, and it's just like a reaction, man. It's just like one of those things. Can I re-keybind that? Is that an option? Oh, there's no rebindable keys. Okay, so that's definitely another thing that should probably be added to the game. Anything that I can use inside of here? Yeah, we'll go ahead and work the coal mines, and we'll get some more food from over there, although I feel like we're in decent shape with resources right now. You get fixed. Honestly, I think I'm just going to hang tight. Like, we have all the resources we need to survive the winter. And so, like, I don't feel like I really need to, like, freak out about getting stuff done here. Like, I feel like we've got a really good stockpile, and we can expand and build stuff as we desire. I don't have any ale, so that's not going to help. Apparently, we get sick dye as well. We have the almshouse, which allows us to convert any dye into a peasant. There's another cookhouse. I do think that the cookhouse is a strong idea. I'm going to do it. That also gives me a use for my hammers there. And then any of these dice that are kind of struggling, let's get them patched up, because if they die, we lose our bonus production right now. And I don't want to lose my bonus production. The bonus production and maintaining it seems important. I like my peasants to be happy, where they say things like, "Yes, my lord," and they like dance around clapping, doing happy little, you know, fold-over boot dances. That's the form that I prefer my peasants to be in at any given moment. What is that? Unknown encampment. Okay, well, I can't explore that until it's inside of my territory, right? Can I build another district hall? I can upgrade this. Let's see what happens when we upgrade it. I'm curious now. I kind of want to know what happens. There we go. Get the cookhouse to fix up some of these dice. I've still got a few more that need to be fixed. Oh, but it does freeze their durability, so it gives you like a little bit less to worry about. So that's good. We do have some work dice. I think we can probably get away. Let's go with gold, and let's go with food. Fix that production dice. And then that die right there can produce us some more food with the wheat that we hath wrought over the course of the wheating season. All of the wheat smithing that we've been doing. All right, so the Peasant District Hall increases efficiency nearby. Surrounding buildings and locations belong to the Peasant District. Can I make it larger? Because, like, this entire area, I'd like to fold it, like, I think putting it right there. Okay, so I wasn't aware of that mechanic. I would have put it right there, or I would have put it right there if I had known. But now I know, okay? And knowing is at least some fraction of the battle. My dice are freezing off, which is really kind of not that great. 30% chance of freezing dice. Gotcha. We don't really have anything to worry about right now. In all fairness, like, we can just leave them frozen. Like, I've got such a good number of dice that I'm not really that worried about anything truly going wrong here. We do need to light the furnace. So we shall do that very, very quickly so I can keep working this area. There we go. So that's been lit. We will go ahead and turn these last 2 grains into foodies so that maybe I don't have to as aggressively go through and work on my food next time around. I've got 2 of you. So let's just maybe like front-end proof for next season. I think that forest right there is inside the radius of this building, but it's hard to tell. I don't know. It might get frozen. Tough to say. Real tough to say. But we got food for days, so that's fine. I do think we'll need another steam generator down over here for the cookhouses so that we can fix our dice a little bit, like, more effectively. But for now, I don't really feel that badly about what we've got going on. That guy might freeze. That guy might freeze. But, like, I don't really care if they do, because I think we're kind of getting towards, like, the end of winter. So I think it'll be okay. I don't really have a whole lot of useful dye right now. I can build something, and that might be a good start. We can do a school to make citizens. We've got a brewery to make ale from wheat. I think the ale was what made people get unfrozen at the tavern, so that might be a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put in the brewery. Decent chance my hammers are going to freeze when I do that. We're still in the middle of winter. I wish that we were more towards, like, the end part of the Vintar. Actually, I can reroll most of those. We are losing a lot of durability per roll, though, right now. So, like, unfortunately, having more citizens does come with setbacks. Don't need food. I do need wood, though. So I'm going to keep that in mind as we go along. A little bit more stone and a little bit more iron couldn't hurt, too, as we get further on into the game. But yeah, this is Dice Legacy. I haven't done the combat yet. I assume that's what these little camps are right here as we fight them. We can also do another district hall, like, up here, and maybe that'll expand it out a little bit further. But it does seem to have, like, organizational aspects. I do really like the districting system, how it increases efficiency for different little areas. I think the dice system makes sense and functions in a vacuum by itself without, like, a lot of explanation. Like, it's fairly intuitive. The things that I would change around it is I would change around spacebar shouldn't reroll the dice. It should pause the game, and then, like, R should do it. Or at the bare minimum, if you're going to leave it on that default, I would add rebindable keys. And then having an option for the food or the supplementary utilities to go in after you put the dice all by their lonesome would be really nice to save like extra click and drags. Other than that, though, I haven't had any bugs. I haven't had any crashes or anything else going on. Inside the options menu, it looks like we've got a bunch of options we can play around with inside of here. I don't know what this does because there's tooltips missing, so I'd have to play around with it for a little bit. It's possible that, like, so I think these are for when it picks up, like, all the dice of the same type at the same time. Inside the graphics options, you do have a pretty solid suite of stuff you can play around with. I did have some tearing when I first loaded the game up, so obviously I've got VSync on, and then I've got the frame rate capped to 120 for OBS, because OBS doesn't like unlocked frame rates. But there are a lot of things that you can fiddle with inside of here. Motion blur is disableable, which is really important to me because I hate it. And then from the audio, it looks like we've got the standard fare stuff, but it also looks like you can also mute the interface sounds, which is kind of interesting. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we have Dice Legacy. Tomorrow, we will have something else. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes and as we upgrade citizens and like what we unlock as we get further on into the game. So I may end up streaming this one, so keep an eye on my Twitch. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out, and that's all I got for you. Bye, everybody.